Welcome to Crafting at Home with Tully. My name is David, and today we are going to be making these rather fantastic wool-wrapped Easter decorations. This one here is a hilarious little chick. I'm going to be showing you how to make a ridiculous looking carrot. So, for this you will need some card. I've used some card from a delivery box. You could get some from anywhere around the house or stick some normal pieces of card together. I've also got some orange card for my carrot, some green paper, a pencil, a pair of scissors. You will need to ask a grown-up's permission before you use sharp scissors like this, some glue, and some orange and some green wool. All these things together will help me make a wool-wrapped carrot. So, to start off, what I need to do is draw the outline of a carrot onto my piece of card. So I'm just going to quickly sketch one out. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now you'll see I'm not cutting the leaves here, and that's just because if I cut the leaves in and wrap wool around it, they'll all fall apart, so I'll do that later on. Now, next thing to do is actually cut the shape out. Now, I've been a bit sneaky, I've done one earlier, so I'm just going to pop this to one side, and here's the one I did earlier. So that is my carrot shape ready to go. The next thing I need to do is get my green piece of paper and cut out a section that can just stick on the top of both sides. So I'm going to cut out two sections there. Any spare bits we'll just put to one side, ready to go in the recycling later on. So I'll just quickly glue the top of this carrot on, like that. Now we will be cutting around this shape as well in a minute, so don't worry if you've got loads of extra green paper on there. So that is the top of my carrot. I need to do the same with the bottom of my carrot. So I'm going to just glue one side and stick it straight onto my orange paper. Just like that. Try and get it close to the edge so you don't use up all the paper on this, because also you're going to need to do the same for this side. So I put a little bit of glue on. I'm just going to quickly slice down here and stick this on top. Now that's all stuck together, I'm going to very quickly cut around this, get my carrot shape back, and we'll get started on the wool wrapping. So you'll see I've got to be quite careful not to slice my carrot into pieces, but sometimes you'll find an edge, and that's actually really, really helpful. And like I said, any of these extra bits will pop in the recycling later. There we go. So the next job, just before we do any wool wrapping, is actually to make sure that the wool will fit. So if you look at the chick, and actually I'll remove the wings for this, you can see there's lots and lots of little cuts that I made, so then the wool sticks in a bit better. So we're going to do that quickly, all the way around the carrot. So it's ready to get this wool wrapped around it. So I'm just going to quickly do, they don't have to be big, about 1 centimetre or less. Absolutely fine, all the way around the carrot. Leave a little gap in between each one. Don't be too worried about how big the gaps are, just make sure you don't accidentally snip half the carrot off. So I did that when I was testing. And we'll do the same for the top. Now for the top one, of course, it's going to be a little trickier. You're going to be using the green wool at the top and the orange wool on the actual carrot. So we'll start off with the carrot wool first, a lovely, ridiculously bright orange. So with these cuts, it makes it super easy because you can just clip it in. And this way you could do it like lacing up a shoe if you wanted. But I quite like this slightly random approach and just going for any of the cuts that I want to. And it just makes it a little bit more interesting going all the way around your carrot. Now we will be doing the same with the green top as well. So I'm not going to put on all of the wrapping that I could do. You'll have a lot more time than I do, so you'll be able to do some really amazing looking carrots. I'm looking forward to seeing what other things you come up with too. So I think this will be about ready. Very, very speedy. Like I said, it's not quite as good as it could be. Yours will be so much better than mine. I'm just going to snip that end off. There we go. So that's the carrot body done. And now we'll get the wool for the top as well. And it's the same idea again. You wrap it round and just loop yourself through as many of these little cuts as you can. Just make the top look a little bit interesting, a bit like it's growing. And then, because it's a smaller area, that's probably us about done. So it makes it nice and speedy doing this set of carrot. Now, of course, if you wanted to, you could use the pencil that we had to draw a silly face on, like I'm going to do. So I'm going to draw some eyes and a bit of a cheesy grin in the middle of my carrot. Or you could leave it like this one, like the other side, to be just blank. Now what's really good about these is you can also put a little hole in them and get them hung up in the house or in your windows, ready to show any passers-by what lovely crafts you've been doing. I'll return the chick, there we go. So these are two lovely wool-wrapped creatures. I hope you've enjoyed that one, and I'll see you again soon.